oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And these thoughts had just started racing through my mind about the last thing I said to her, the conversation, the relationship. It took me all the way back to infancy, from as far as I can remember. And in that moment, my life flashed before me. So over the last week, it's a week and a half, it's been quite a journey for my family and I. Josh and I had, as you guys know, the, Bam Jam, the biggest event we've ever hosted thus far. And we were so incredibly fortunate to be around our team, our students, being that energy with you guys, creating and growing and building and shifting mindsets and tapping out on old, like your old thermometer, like what made you blow, and you guys are elevating that to higher and higher levels. And one of the biggest things that I took out of the Bam Jam event was how incredibly lucky and fortunate, not lucky, Josh and I have worked very hard and manifested and grown and built to be these people. However, how incredibly fortunate we are to be with such an amazing group of people. And in that, as fate would have it, as divine destiny calls, that the heavens called my mother to be with her the day after Bam Jam was done. My mother passed away on June 29th at 11:35 a.m. in Colorado Springs from a car accident. And she passed instantly, and there was no pain. She went to be with her maker and to dance in the universe. And I first want to say thank you to the people who reached out. Thank you to the students, our team, our staff, people who just really showed up for us. People came and cooked dinner for us and sent flowers and text messages and checked up on me and Josh. And on top of that, Josh and I had gotten, like, you guys all heard his live, we had gotten really, really sick. So on top of my mom passing away, we were dealing with a very, very insane, bug. And it sucked. It really, really, it sucked. It sucked. And, in all of that, we had a lot of trials and tribulations over these last couple weeks, things that could have brought us to our knees, things that could have stopped us right in our path, things that could have made us re-examine what we were doing and give up, and even perhaps, put me down a spiral. And I'll never forget that Tuesday night when we were flying home. It was a Tuesday night, June 29th, and at 10 p.m. I got a phone call. First off, I'm going down to one of my friend's room. I go downstairs with her, and we pop open a bottle of champagne, and we're sitting there. And I just felt really sick. I think the sickness was coming on to me, but I just felt really sick and heavy and yucky and just very off. Very, 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 very off. And I was like, oh my goodness. And my automatic nervous system, I was programmed myself, oh man, I'm not feeling so well. Let me pour myself a glass of champagne. So I go and I pour myself a glass of champagne, and I'm sitting there with her, and we're hanging out and we're chatting and talking about work and business and expansion and ideas and all this fun stuff, right? And I get this phone call, and it rings, and me and her are in a very deep conversation, my friend and I. And I take a sip of champagne, I set it down, and I look around, and my phone rings, and it was my sister Nikki. And I go, oh, something inside of me said, I'd probably call her back. I'm in the middle of a conversation, very rude. I pick up the phone, I answer it, and my sister goes, Danelle. I go, yes. She goes, Mom's dead. And I go, oh my gosh. And these thoughts had just started racing through my mind about the last thing I said to her, the conversation, the relationship. It took me all the way back to infancy, from as far as I can remember. And in that moment, my life flashed before me. Who I was, the choices I've made, the relationships I've built, who I showed up for people as, who I showed up for myself as. And all of this started flashing for me in seconds. And it really got me thinking on that airplane. My mom passing away, it hurts. It hurts a lot. And that process of healing is gonna be a long one. And I know what it won't be. It won't be in vain. See, guys, when things in life happen to us, we have a choice. There's two choices, and many people think by not doing things, you can step back and, live that type of life. When in reality, we're always choosing. Every single day is a choice of what to do, how you're going to react, if you're going to respond. Are you going to rise? Are you going to fall. And either way, it doesn't make anybody wrong. It just, in that moment when my mom passed, I got on that plane and everything just seemed like a blur. Everything, and I was sitting on that plane, and luckily it was a red eye, and I can't stop crying. I can't stop crying. Inside of me, it was almost as though I felt empty space. And I just started crying, and I started reflecting on the last year of my life and where I've been at and where my focus has been and how I've been reacting to life. And really, life has been reacting to me. And I thought to myself, this can't be. My mom leaving me can't be. And then it clicked. Something clicked, you guys. It was like, the only way to describe it was I wasn't out of my body. I was out of my mind. I went out of mind experience, and I thought to myself, I started visualizing my future in a very intentful way. And it didn't look like the way I was living 2 weeks ago. It was bigger. It was bolder. I showed up for people. I was more involved. I was vulnerable. I showed empathy. I was free of limitations. And in order to be that person, like I said on stage, you have to show up differently. You can't show up the same way every single time. And I said to myself, I'm making some serious life changes. And in those life changes, I'm deciding that if this habit doesn't directly correlate to my future, it gots to go. And so I made some life-altering changes on that plane. And I share this with you guys, not to talk to you about my life, but to share with you how you show up in yours. What's holding you back right now? What thoughts? What processes? Where is your heart at? Where is your heart at? And in knowing where your heart's at and knowing that you're full and you're perfect in every aspect, you can then go, I'm not lacking anything. However, there's no lacks. There's abundance all around me. However, how do I want to impact others' lives? How do I see my future? What does my future look like?